Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? What? Oh. Oh, man. Hopefully, we can get this going, and hopefully, the live stream holds up. I'm hoping that'll hold up. Fingers crossed that it will. As you're coming in, feel free to say hi. Looks like that the stream is slightly... that's why I have the camera off right now. I'm waiting for reception to actually pick up better. It shows us at 2 bars, so let me know if my audio is good. Do I sound distorted? Is it like frequently pausing? That type of stuff. Because once I get into this, I just want to get into this and just go straight. So just let me know if you guys hear the audio pretty good. I don't... yeah. I just hope that Verizon can help me out today by literally just keeping this live stream going. Audio's good. Audio's good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna turn on video. Thrive. Technoid. Well, I'm just gonna call you by your first name, Michael. I busted out this goofy hat and put it on just for you, bro. Just for you. I'm retired this morning, at least for the next few weeks. Yeah. You know what? I'll only come out of this retirement thing that I'm in only for people that I feel are great friends to me and those who I have the utmost respect for. Yeah, and it's not it's not tech related, right? So this in no way does the benefit for me. Michael, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. I busted out the goofy Thrive hat for you, man, because that's what you're doing, man. You're thriving. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna dive right into it. And the latest live stream that that Michael did, you guys know him as Technoid. It hit really home to me. Yeah. It was a great live stream, okay? And I don't give a fuck who's gonna jump on there and post a comment that's so goddamn ridiculous. And I'm sorry that I'm using choice phrases that's probably not safe for work, so I apologize. But let's get real about a couple of things. All right, we get a live stream from Technoid, who is really becoming very transparent with a lot of people. Because look at it like this, right? All right, as a content creator, aspects of our life is not needed to be shared with everybody. We don't have to share a freaking thing with anybody. We owe nobody any explanations, okay? This may sound pretty harsh, and yes, I am a humble person. For the years that I've been doing YouTube, for the amount of subscribers that I've gotten, for the grind, and I said it in my farewell live stream, I know that I broke deeper into my emotions when I talked about how hard the freaking grind was, how I ghetto rigged everything that I've done to try to make my videos, stand toe to toe with the big guys. Like, I wasn't pitching a freaking story for anybody or blowing smoke up anyone's ass. That's really how it is. It really is. When you're somebody who's not trying to find the shortcuts, is not trying to cheat their way through this, and you really grind hard and struggle, you can feel it from that person. And when Michael was talking about his experiences with the Verizon employee that he met at the Samsung Unpacked event, for anyone, first of all, for anyone who would even make fun of him opening his emotions up like that, we're guys, right? We're men. And for the longest time, it's always been okay for a woman to express her emotions in a way, and that men supposedly, because we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be tough, we have to just shut up and suck it up. It's not considered normal for a man to bear his emotions out like that to anybody. And to see Michael do that, that's more balls than anything. it's not easy for a man to open up like that and share his emotions like that, you know. So I just want to, first of all, want to outline to Michael that, you know what, I appreciate you sharing that story. You know, it really, like I said, it hit home for me because I've been in similar situations, so I understand what you are going through. And you know what, it really makes me feel good as a person. Your story touched me as a person, that the decisions that I made were the right decisions. This decisions to walk away from making tech videos, to move out of the way so you can continue to grow. Because that's part of the reason that I left. I didn't outright put it that way because I didn't want anyone to feel like that, oh, well, you know, if they like my stuff, you know, Tito, don't go. You don't have to do it because of me. Like, I know I don't have to do it because of specific people that I truly believe in. But I made that choice. You know, part of it was for me. The other part of it was so that I can get out of the way and let someone like Technoid continue to grow. You know, he's been doing this for a couple of years. I've been doing this for a decade. So it's time for me to get out the way and let him grow, let my people that have rocked with me for so many years discover him, discover Sneed, discovered Carlos, and just kind of like go in that direction. And like I said, it really validates for me. Yeah, I'm not really making videos anymore, Archie. I'm not. I've come out of retirement 2 days back to back. One was for Carlos to talk about his company, Los Mobile. And I wasn't even going to do this. This was a last minute thing. I watched Technoid's live stream. I listened to what he had to say from beginning to end. And so for him, I came out of retirement to speak on this subject. That's why I said it's not tech related. It's more of like, mental health, and, you know, just kind of like outlining a real, true, honest, humble creator. Right? You have a lot of different creators. I'm not here to call them out on whatever they do, whether they're real about their shit or they're bullshitting everybody. I'm not here to call anybody else out on that. What I am here to do is to stand behind somebody that I firmly believe in. That I, you know, since meeting him, since having conversations with him, since having him on my live stream, since guest hosting on his live stream, I have a lot of respect for Technoid. I really do. And I honestly feel like that anyone that hasn't discovered him yet is thoroughly missing out on something great, something magical. Because, for my personal reasons, the way that he edits his videos and the little bit of spice that he adds to his videos every now and then to make things, to liven things up, that to me, just shows like, how much passion he has for this. And then, he emphasizes on the fact that he does this for fun, right? So he's not like trying to grind out numbers because he wants a fat paycheck from YouTube or anything like that. It's not even that. So, for him to open up like that and share those things, first of all, what was said, in a comment that was pretty negative, those types of things are unwarranted. Like, I don't know what it is. I think, I have this feeling that a lot of just average people who just watch YouTube videos kind of forget that the person they're watching on video is a human being just like them and has feelings just like them and can get happy just like them, can get sad and can get hurt just like them. We are freaking human. We are not robotic things. We're not a digital software program that's just imposed on this display for you to listen to, talk about a tech item or a tech subject, and then like we get put back in in the memory and waited until we were booted up again. Like, no, it's not even like that. We are human. I can feel the genuine emotions coming from Michael in his live stream, and for him to even step up and even share that so everyone would kind of understand. I thought it was very mature of him to come at it from a perspective and to make it very clear to everybody who does rock with him, to his fan base, not to attack said person, because that's not what the live stream was about. It was not to open up Pandora's box and unload a whole bunch of crap onto a guy that pretty much did him wrong. You know, people like to judge other people, and they think that you have to come from this place where it's just like you are professional at this level. Like they try to hold you to this standard when you haven't even climbed the ladder to that point. And for Michael to openly tell people like, yeah, you know, he was young, he was 19, he went to the Samsung Unpacked event, which already blew his mind that he got invited to. And then to meet somebody from Verizon and to exchange contact information to collaborate on a joint adventure, you know, I would feel the same way. There would be so much emotions running through my head. I would feel like I was on cloud 9, like, oh my God, you know, this is it. You know, like we tend to make the mistake of legitimizing ourselves based upon who we connect with and where that person's status is. We kind of feel like it kind of puts us on the same level as them because they noticed us and they've seen us. So I can only imagine all the thoughts that were going through Michael's head, everything that, you know, that he was feeling in that moment. He was probably riding the big wave of what we call success to that extent. And for him to open up and share with everybody about how he was emotionally impacted because, you know, he had legitimate reasons why he kind of stepped out of the limelight. You have to step away from this stuff, right? Losing a friend, you know, when they pass is not an easy thing to really get over. I don't think anyone really gets over it. I don't think nobody gets over it at all. You know, I just recently shared with you guys that a very, very, very close person to me passed away. And she passed away 2 weeks before my best friend Alex passed away 2 years ago. And so I lost two very close people to me, and it has spawned a different emotion in me and a different thought process, and as well as people in my family. Like, for instance, my Hanai brother Ruben is like messaging me every other day, calling me every other day to check on me to make sure that I'm mentally okay. You know, we've lost people and we don't want to lose anybody else, you know? So if we could, you know, if we lose somebody else because it's life, then we're okay with that. But we don't want to lose anybody else where we could have intervened to help. I think it's that mentality that we have right now. So I can understand where Michael is coming from about, you know, losing, you know, a very close friend to him and everything like that. You just don't want to do anything, you know, you just don't. I mean, that played a part in my decision of walking away from all this, losing my friend and realizing that, you know, there are more things in life that I want to do, and I have to sacrifice things that I'm already currently doing to make the time for the things that I want to do. And that's why I made the very big decision to say goodbye to all this and step away from it. You know, losing a friend can really impact you. So when Michael conveyed that, you know, he lost a friend, he started going into this dark place, which I know I've been there. You know, I find it funny that certain people here on YouTube know about my dark times and decide to make fun of it. But hey, you know what? I mean, getting past 7th grade was probably hard for them, so fuck them. But you know, I've been in a dark place. As a matter of fact, Michael knows about it. You know, some of it. Sneed knows some of it. Carlos definitely tried to help me on it, and Lawrence also tried to help me on it. And yeah, when you're in a dark space, it's not easy to get out. People think it's so fucking easy to just claw your way out of it, and it's really not, right? I would like to compare that dark space that Michael's talking about to like a weighted blanket. You know, try having a really heavy blanket on you and see if you can pull yourself out of the bed in like 3 seconds or less, where normally you would just hop off out of bed, right? A weighted blanket, you're gonna have to try to like maneuver your way around that just to get yourself out of it. So it's not easy. And for him to share that, because he felt like the contact that he met at the Samsung Unpacked event deserves some sort of formal explanation as to what went on in the business relationship that they had. Because again, at the end of the day, technically, Michael doesn't owe anybody a fucking explanation on anything. He's his own man. He can decide to tell you, hey, yeah, we didn't have this business adventure because I had this, and this happen. Or he can just not say nothing. He chose to. He chose to open up about it because, out of respect for that person's time, he did the honorable thing, which is, even though the business venture is ended and it's not likely to spawn anything out of it, I'm still gonna, give you the reason why things went the way it did, so you have a peace of mind as to what was going on. For anyone to down talk Technoid in that way, or to make light of the situation, or to act super fucking bougie in a comment because you think the rest of the world's gonna rally behind you like you're some keyboard hero, like, no. I think people are ridiculous on it, and that's also one of the things that I think that has lifted a big weight off my shoulders is, yeah, we kind of put up a front. We kind of put up a front where we're like, these messages, they don't do anything, you know what I mean? But they really do. They do linger in the back of our head. We may not give it all that attention. We may not sit there and cry like the person wanted us to cry. And we may not make like 50 fucking videos talking about that one person and what they said in a comment of one of the videos that I posted. We don't. So we don't spend that much time on it. But to sit here and say that it does absolutely nothing would be a fucking lie. Because even just that 5-second thought process of that comment already is considered doing something mentally. And I'm just so sick of this shit where people feel like that, oh, you're a content creator, suck it up. Like, fuck you. You suck it up. Like, I want to turn the cameras around and put it back on other people who have that fucking, what we call high makamaka attitude, which is like, for Hawaiian, it's like having your nose to the air. I want to turn the camera back on those people and see what they deal with life, so I can stand there with a big fucking smile on my face and say, oh yeah, suck it up, bro. Oh yeah, your girl left you. Fucking suck it up, bro. Now people tend to, like, again with this fucking, couch coach bullshit. You sit from the sidelines and you think that you can just call plays and call audibles and they're just gonna magically fucking work. It doesn't work that way. People process things differently. People think in a different way and in a different perspective. And you may think you have the answer to that person's problem, but believe you me, don't. I've learned an important lesson when I was 24 years old. I thought I fucking knew everything. And I had a friend that had a major problem. And I thought it was easy as pie. I can solve it. And I got into their head to let them know that I had the answer to this. And this is what you got to do. And got their attention to listen. And then they listened. And they continued to listen. And they continued to listen. And what did I do? I fucked their life up worse. Never again did I offer to friggin' tell people like I can get you out of the trenches. Unless I am 100% sure I can, I don't say a damn thing at all. Good morning, Baby Yoda. Yeah. I came out of retirement for Technoid. So just thought, I would do this. I don't know if you caught his live stream yesterday. If you missed it, go check it out afterwards and you'll understand why I'm talking about this. But yeah, we're not pieces of meat that just get on YouTube. I know someone's going to probably have some smart aleck with Mark talking about, well, if you don't want people judging you and commenting on your life, then don't come on here on public. Well, you know what? First of all, I'll tell you to freaking choke on one, because we have the right to do what we want to do and can't nobody say otherwise. You can't tell me where I can and can't be based upon, a daily emotion that shifts every day. Today I'm happy, tomorrow I'm sad, tomorrow I'm hurt, tomorrow I'm hungry. Tomorrow I'm high spirited, and we're never the same emotion every day, right? We have a lot of emotions that we go through. By the way, Baby Yoda, bam, check that out. I don't know, hashtag ADHD moment. That just went completely left field. But yeah, I think people got to start taking mental health a lot more serious. And I think people got to stop setting themselves as the fucking gold standard. Look, I'm no gold standard to anybody. Nobody should live their life according to mine. And I don't feel like that I need to live my life according to everybody else. See, technology is great in all its forms, but also has a dark side to all its forms. And I've talked about this for so many times, and I know it doesn't capture people's attention, and I'm going to keep talking about it until I break through for some people to understand. And if one person gets it from this, then hey, at least I was able to, open someone's eyes to something. But we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have all these different social platforms that we tend to have fun on. And I think that people have a misguided thought to it. They feel like because it's social media, it means that, I can tell you what to do with your life. See, there's a difference with having an opinion, right? If I post something on Twitter, you definitely can have an opinion about it and say, nah, that's not something I would do, Tito, or yeah, that's something I would do. But then we have people that they'll start off there and think it's going to go here, but it goes far south than what they expected, because they tend to get in their feelings when you don't do it their way. And then the real side of them comes out, where they start telling you that you're going to fail and you're going to fuck up and you're going to do all these things because you're not doing it the way they would do it. And I think people got to stay in their fucking lane. I mean, we have all these really cool sayings, these quote things like "stay in your lane, bruh," and all this other stuff, right? And I think people kind of overlook the actual concept behind those sayings, right? Like, worry about you. Worry about what the fuck you're doing in life, and don't be hypocritical. Don't sit there and try to shut somebody down just because they're opening up about something personal to them and sharing their feelings. And you tell them, oh yeah, you should be on here sharing your feelings. But then when the tables are turned and shit happens to you, you get on social media to share your fucking feelings and expect the whole world to give a damn. That is the shit of tech today. That is the dark side of it, right? Addiction to staring at a screen that's 4 inches to 6.5 to 7 inches from angle to angle. The constant action of feeling like that you can fix other people's lives with just your words, creating an exclusive atmosphere because you just don't like somebody on social media. So you want to exclude them from the benefits that you take from social media and try to explain in an intelligent yet very fucking stupid way how it only applies to you and not to them. So get the hell off Facebook with this, or get the hell off Twitter with this. Take your own advice. If you really feel that strong about those types of things, take your own advice, because nobody wants to hear your fucking sissy fits. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, for thee, not for me, that attitude is wrong. And I'm going to chalk it up to what that is. It's wrong. Simple as that. So anyone that's going to pass a judgment on Michael just for him opening up, fuck you. That's all I got to say. Seriously. Fuck you. Get a life. Get a heart. Fuck the life. You have a life. You're breathing. Get a heart. That's what I would tell somebody. For anyone that would poke fun at the fact that, that he was crying. Okay. I really didn't see him cry, but I can feel the pain. Right. And to me, and I may be wrong, but I feel like maybe he was fighting back the tears. Maybe he didn't want to go that far with his emotions being shown like that. And I think just hearing it in his voice was enough for everybody. And it was there. And I can feel the pain. Like, look, I know YouTube's never going to go back to the way it was before. I had a wishful thought. I tried. I said some stuff about it. I felt like it wasn't important to people. So that weighed heavy on my shoulders. I lost a close friend 2 years ago, and then recently, about 3.5 weeks ago. And I start looking at this, And I love to do this. Don't get me wrong. I miss this. Every day I go to work, I punch into my 9 to 5 job, I sit at my desk, and I miss doing this. But I also remembered why I made the decisions to do what I did. And because I want guys like Technoid to have the similar experience that I had. And like I said, I'm no gladiator in this space, right? Hardly anyone really gives a fuck that I'm gone. They're only the real ones are the ones that are still communicating with me, like on Twitter, on Facebook, on Discord. I had to make a new Discord because my old one I lost it, so I had to make a new one. And that link is in the description. Only the real ones still connect with me, but other people, I mean, and I don't blame them, right? It's when you're on YouTube and you're doing this stuff, you are a flavor. And you may be the flavor of the week, the month, the year, a couple of years, 5 years. Eventually, you're no longer going to be the flavor of that person's life. They're going to move on to things. That's how it goes. That's showbiz for everybody. Okay? The same rules in Hollywood apply to this shit. Today, you're relevant. Tomorrow, you're not. But I don't want to be in the way of people like Technoid who have not gone through those experiences yet. And like I said, I'm no fucking gladiator on this thing. But if I can get the hell out of the way and let some of these young men get their shine, why not? And I'm not saying this, and for anyone who doesn't understand English, I apologize. But let me spell it out for you. It's not their fault that I left. I chose to do it. More personal reasons for me. But that is one of the reasons too, as well, is that I want them to grow successfully and experience all those fun moments that I've gotten to experience. Because trust me, it was fun grinding. While I do open up and express about how hard this shit is, to do it on your own raw and to continue to do it and then have the support of everyone who subscribes to your channel to, help push you along and push you further and further and further. It's also fun. It's also exhilarating. By the way, what's up, TJ? It's exhilarating. It's fun. I mean, you guys, some people made fun of me when I made 5,000 subscribers and made a video talking about how humble I was about 5,000 subscribers. And I wasn't bullshitting anybody. I was very humble about that because people don't have to watch this and people don't have to subscribe to this. That's something I always kept in my mind every day. Every day that I put something together on YouTube, whether it's a full-on edited video or what people call a lazy video where you just record and upload, or a live stream like this. I know stepping into this that I could potentially see 0 people watching. And I'm always humbled. I'm always humbled when there's 1 or 2 or 3 people watching. If it reaches 18, 19 people, that's cool. But I'm always humbled even if just one person's watching. So, like I said, I won't do this very often, and I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I wanted Michael to know that I really stand behind him, and I really support what he does, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the barriers that he's knocking down in his growth on YouTube. I like the potential that he has, that I see in him, and I like his approach to all this. And I would tell him to continue on that path. And he is absolutely fucking right. And people have to, learn this concept. But when one door closes on you, another door opens, right? Now, he said it in a way as when one door closes, another arises. And yes, one will arise, one will be there, but it'll also open too. And yeah, I think, and like he said, and he expressed it. And now for anyone who ever wondered why, Technoid and Sneed have this big brother, younger brother, type vibe, now we know. And you know what? It had to happen that way. It had to happen. That chapter with that Verizon rep had to close. It had to not spawn into something amazing, because another relationship spawned into something super amazing. And that was Sneed coming into Technoid's life and helping him get out of that dark space that he was in. Because I don't know if you guys really notice this. I've noticed this, right? He's not just saying that him and Sneed have this big brother, younger brother vibe or relationship, like it's just some sort of thing to say on YouTube. You can really see it. The amount of shit talking they do to each other, and it's not even like really bad shit talking, right? You know, it's references to MMA moves, and they're, you know, they always play around, and you can see that dynamic between them. You'd also, you know, you see Sneed pick up because he believes so much into, you know, in Michael and what Michael's doing, that when Michael has things coming up like a family vacation, you know, Sneed is that good man that will say, hey, why don't you focus on your family and I'll take over your show for the next week or so. And the cool thing about Sneed is, like, when he says that, he's not saying it like, oh yeah, I'm the shit on YouTube because I have this many subscribers, so I know what the hell I'm doing. No, it's not even like that, because you watch Sneed when he takes over Technoid, when he jacks the channel, because they always portray that like Sneed stole the channel from him, you know, just to make it fun for everybody. But you can always tell within Sneed, you can see it. I don't know if anyone notices this. I read people by their body language. That's the type of person I am. You don't have to fucking tell me who you are in words. When I'm looking at you, I can read you. That's one of my many talented gifts that God has given me, and I love it, because the ability to read people's body language, yeah, that is a form of communication, body language. So when I see Sneed on Technoid's video covering for him while Technoid is taking care of personal things, you can see it in Sneed where he's like, man, oh man, I hope I don't mess this up for him. And it's because it's because of that brother dynamic they have, that great bond that they have developed over the time, and you know, just a respect for each other. You can tell. And a lot of people will be like, Sneed doesn't have to be nervous about it. He's great. He does great on his channel. Like, yeah, it's his channel, but he respects Michael, that he doesn't want to do anything that would be a turnoff to Michael's fan base. And that's called real respect. That is called honor among men. Something that we lack today. We lack that so much. You also have been very important to me as well. You help show me different perspectives and help give me advice that I still use to this day. I'm glad that I was able to have, you know, an impact on you in some way. That's what validates everything I've done in 10 years right there. Seeing comments like that. So I've succeeded. You know, anyone can come to me and say, well, you know, you've never made it to 50,000 subscribers. You've never made it to 100,000 subscribers. You never made it to 1 million. Hey, Tito, it was a great laugh watching you. You never made it on Team Pixel. Fuck all that shit. That right there, that statement from Michael, I have succeeded on YouTube. If I can make any type of impact on someone's life, I did what I wanted to do, what I set out to do. The original purpose of what I set out to do was done. And that is 1,000,000 times more than getting into all these exclusive clubs or reaching certain numbers on my subscriber count. Like, but anyways, yeah, when you surround yourself with the right people, you're good, you know. And yeah, so when I look back at what he says about one door closing and the other one opening, I think it's just more of like, Michael needed to go through that for whatever the powers that be in this great universe that we're in pushed him in the direction and pushed Sneed in that same direction. So in that way they can collide and make an impact on each other's lives. Because while Sneed was there to pull Michael out of the dark, we also have to think too, whether people want to believe it or not, but Michael had to have an impact on Sneed's life too. Now, whether Sneed wants to open up ever in the future and talk about it, that's his choice. But there has to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't have this great brother dynamic. you know. And Sneed is a good person. That's the thing. That's why I say, like, this idea that people have that content creators should not have feelings, should not express their feelings. Like, okay, let's get over that. Sometimes you just have to talk this stuff out. Sometimes you do, right? Male suicide rate, pretty high because of stress, pretty high because of, buried emotions. We are taught from a very young age that men do not cry. We're taught from a very young age that you're just supposed to rub some dirt on it and keep it moving. We're taught from a very young age that, when things happen, it's our problem, right? When we face things, it's our problem. When those closest around us face things, it's also our problem. We're taught a lot of things that, we kind of forget one of the most quintessential things about all this, and that is we are human. We all have different personalities. We were raised differently, and we were taught different values in life. So we're going to respond to things. For someone to come out and chastise a man for opening his emotions and try to peg him as feminine, like, you got some serious deep issues if you think that way. And you might want to go talk to a therapist about it. Because there's nothing wrong with a man just deciding to say, hey, fuck this. I'm going to open up and tell you guys my story. I'm going to share with you guys something very personal about me. Because like I said, at the end of the day, Michael doesn't have to share a damn thing with anybody. It could always be tech. It could be, hey, guys, welcome to Technoid. And then this is what's going on with Samsung. And this is what's going on with Google. And this is what's going on with Apple. And then boom, peace. He doesn't have to sit there and go on a live stream and tell you guys a moment where he was vulnerable, and the moment where he was hurt, and the moment where his feelings was impacted. He doesn't have to. He chose to. One of the reasons why I think it's a good thing when creators do that from time to time is because it reminds their fan base that they're human. I've opened up about personal things too, and the amount of support that I got from all of you have been amazing throughout all these years. But I know for a fact that one of the reasons why the support from you guys have been so amazing is because by me opening up about something personal to me showed you guys I'm human, right? You wouldn't get that kind of interaction unless you can relate to me on that level. At what level, it doesn't matter what you are, color, gender, whatever. What level do we all relate to? And that is being human. Unless you were constructed like from the Whaling Corporation, or you were one of the models that were produced with Commander Data from Star Trek, if you guys get those references. Yeah, you were born from a womb, you're human. Fuck it, if you were made in a test tube, you're still human. I battle with depression and have gone to therapy. All men need it, and it's okay to say so. Exactly. Talking about your emotions, there's nothing wrong with that. Saying that you've cried, nothing wrong with that. Just because you cry doesn't make you weak. We've been branded with these thoughts that crying is a sign of weakness. It's not. It's not a sign of weakness. You ever see people when they talk about, oh, when you cry, you're cleansing. And people kind of make fun of it because they always want to reference that to like religion. It's not really only religion. But when you cry, you are cleansing. You're letting a lot of those stressful emotions out. Think about this, right? Forget the rest of the world and what they think, and be a human and think for yourself. Have you ever noticed that when you have a good cry, all of a sudden, a lot of the stress you feel here is like gone? Like your shoulders relax. They're not so high up on your ears anymore. You feel like a big weight off your chest is gone, right? The cliche things you hear a lot of people say when they relieve stress. And, we tend to overlook it because a lot of people say and express the same way. Well, it's not because people are being, disingenuous about it. It's because it really feels that way. Now, I'm not telling everyone to go and have like a crying circle, unless you really want to. There's nothing wrong with that either. I really think that holding people to a specific standard is like the biggest mistake that we're doing. I think the reason why we have a lot of fucked up problems today, you know, people talking about racism, people talking about all these things, is because we're too focused on trying to differentiate each other and then hold each other to a certain standard instead of just being respectful. Like, I don't need to know you and your personal life to give you my respect and to care about you. I don't need to know 10 years of your life to extend my hand if you fall down. I don't need to know you for 20 years of my life to see that you're hungry and struggling to just open my wallet and give you my last $20 bill. I don't need that. I don't need to do that. I'll just do it because you and I are cut from the same cloth. Doesn't matter. We can stack as many differences as we have between each other. Doesn't change one thing that trumps all of that. You and I are human. I am that type of guy that will give you my respect until you fucking burn me. When you show me a very bad side of you, then I know to get away from you. And it's not in a vindictive way. It's that you just need to work on you. And I'm going to go chill over here type of thing. I think today, a lot of the issues that we see on the news and the things that we face, I think a lot of that could be put to rest if we just kind of stop focusing and listening to that daily, weekly bullshit and just learn to care about each other again. Right? I feel like that, you know, when people start doing the right thing, because it doesn't matter. People can peg you as a bad person, but even a bad person before they commit something wrong, whether it's a crime, whether it's an action towards somebody else, before they do it, they feel it in here what the right thing is. They just choose to ignore it and continue on the path that's going to be destructive. And I think that if we start listening to what we feel is the right thing to do, the better that we will be as a nation, honestly. I feel like that, you know, people want to fight racism. Here's my honest perspective on that. Racism only exists if you keep highlighting the moments. I'm not saying that there aren't racist people, because there are. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that if you stop focusing on that and focus on a more positive thing to change people's minds, I'm not saying that you won't experience a moment of that. It's inevitable. Okay? But we can't pussyfoot around and think that if we go and we just start treating people the way that we felt we've been treated, that it's going to make things better. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's a saying that's been around, and it holds a lot of fucking water. It holds a massive amount of water because two wrongs don't make it right. If a white person treated me like shit because of the color of my skin, and I went back and treated a white person like shit who was completely innocent of this just because another white person treated me like shit, it doesn't make it better. What did I accomplish there other than I became the thing that I was trying to combat? People overlook that aspect in life. They become the thing they hate most. That's one human flaw that we have that we really don't escape unless we really understand and see what we're doing. And that's what's happening a lot today. And this is why am I talking about this stuff? This all culminates to the culture that we live in today and the way that we perceive things. So back to my response to Technoid is that I appreciate what you do. And I appreciate the fact that you shared what you shared on your live stream. And if you guys missed it, head to Technoid's channel, sub to his channel, and watch his latest live stream so you understand why I'm talking this way. And you know what? Things happen for a reason, Michael. They do. And I wouldn't have wanted to seen it any other way. I think the dynamic that you and Sneed have is great. I think, you know, it's like Batman and Robin, except both of y'all are Batman type of thing. It's really fucking cool to see what you guys do and how it happens, you know? The SMT community is very large. There's a lot of good people in there. There's a lot of, you know, real 100 people. Not 100 in value, but 100 in who they are. And yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. You focus on what you want, you go after what you want, and I'll be here like I've always have been supporting. I'll be smashing the like button. I know you offered a thumbs down, but there's not anything you put out that I dislike. Plus, two, the thumbs down doesn't work the way it used to, anyways. So, but you don't put out bad content in my eyes. I can see the work that you put into what you do, which is why you are one of the people that I believe is going to soar a lot higher than I ever made it. And I can't wait to see that day when you do. And I'm not talking about in subscriber count, because subscriber count is part of this whole game, but it's actual view count that matters the most. And when Technoid gets to the point where it's getting minimum 1.5 thousand views, that's going to be awesome. I feel like that a lot of people still haven't discovered you yet, and it's going to take some time. But even at the times, Michael, the last advice I'll give you, because I faced this once, and maybe this advice might work for you, maybe it might not, but even at times where it feels like it's hopeless, don't let go. If the dream that you have, the vision that you have still burns bright inside of you, don't let go. Because that was for me. There was times in the last 10 years I've been doing YouTube where it felt hopeless. I felt like like it wasn't going to go anywhere. And I almost quit. Several times. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I just said fuck it and just kept uploading videos and just kept going forward. And from the moment that I felt like quitting at 2,000 plus subscribers, here I am at 11,500 plus. And I will always appreciate every single one of them who clicked subscribe. I will appreciate everybody who always goes in and watches my video and hits the thumbs up. And I will appreciate everyone who takes a moment of their day to just come on here and listen to a small segment of what I had to say. And I really appreciate those who watch from the beginning to the end. And at that, I'll leave you guys with this. So, be good to one another. It is not weird to love other people just because they're human. And to respect them as a human. And to care for them as a human. And to do the right thing. So for all those people who are even thinking about leaving a very fucked up derogatory comment on that live stream from Technoid, just don't. Please just don't. Walk away from doing that. It's not needed. The man bared his soul. Give that man his respect. Thank you all for coming on this live stream. Blades, what's up? Thanks to Technoid for showing up. And just keep doing you, man. To the entire SMT community, I love you guys very much. I miss doing this with you guys. Believe you me, I do. But I got things that I got to get done too. And I'm so happy for the ones who still stick by me and still communicate with me outside of YouTube, like on Twitter and other social platforms. I really appreciate you guys for that. And to that, I'm going to crawl my sorry ass back into my retirement home. So Technoid, you take over, brother. Be cool, be safe. Happy holidays to everybody. I'll do one more live stream on Christmas Eve. It might be like this. I don't know. Love. It's a very powerful word. Learn about it.